Kids feel really entitled these days, Kim.
Yeah, but we made those monsters, Kim,
I didn't. I just tried to raise them.
and you spoiled them.
At this point, I'm with Monique. F them kids.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of
A juicy
Juicy Podcast. I'm Kim,
I'm Kim.
and today we're going to talk about
What they never told you about having kids,
what they never told you about having kids.
how it's going to turn out.
So, thinking, about your daughter and when she was little,
Uh-huh.
is it one thing that stands out in your mind about something she did as a little girl that
Well, there are a number of things. Where do I start? But talking about entitlement and, raising kids.
mm-hmm,
She was always really smart.
mm-hmm,
I don't think it's anything I did. She was just always really smart.
mm-hmm,
And once I made a cake on a Friday night,
mm-hmm,
and she fell asleep before it was ready.
mm-hmm.
So Saturday morning when I get up, I go in the kitchen and I see that the cake top is kind of crooked. And I'm like, huh. And I lift it up. You know you did it, right? I lift the cake top up and she's taken her fingers like this
Mm-hmm.
and turned the plate and scraped all the frosting. I think it was 2 layers. She scraped all the frosting off the sides, left the frosting on the top,
Mm-hmm.
but scraped it all off like ain't nothing happened. I was livid. She got a spanking
Mm-hmm.
because I'm a spanker. And I asked her, what's wrong with you? What made you do it? You know better, blah, blah, blah. And she just, so fast forward maybe an hour or so later, she's sitting in the floor playing with her little Barbies. And I'm watching TV or something. And she says, Mommy, remember when you asked me what I was thinking when I scraped the frosting? I said, yeah. She said,
Mm-hmm.
5 years old, I was thinking, I know I'm going to get in trouble, but I don't care. What?
Oh wow!
Like how? But it made me a little nervous
Mm-hmm.
because if at this age, if she can articulate it that way, does this mean is she going to be tripping down the road?
Yeah.
That's something I really looked at that and said, hey, she said, I don't care. So she's not going to care about getting into trouble. Does this mean she's going to be the kind of kid?
Mm-hmm.
Because she could, one other time, she had her crayons and she kept breaking them.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, stop, what's wrong with you? Quit breaking your crayons. Why do you keep breaking your crayons? She said, because I know you're going to buy me some more. Okay, so that's another thing but people don't tell you about how smart. They know stuff and they pick up on stuff that you didn't teach them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, little kids know how to lie really well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they know how to lie.
Mm-hmm.
How do they know that? And it's not because you're always lying to them per se, but they go to school with other kids.
Mm-hmm.
They get exposed to stuff. Different people do different things in their
Mm-hmm.
households. And no
Right.
matter how much you try to shelter your kid and, shape them and mold them, they
Mhm.
will be exposed. And you will find out some stuff,
Right.
Right. So parenting, it's just an on-the-job type of thing. You learn as you go,
Mm-hmm.
And you have to figure it out. That's the thing, right? I think that's the hardest part, figuring it out. What works for your child, because what works for this child may not work for that child.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to understand why it doesn't, but it just doesn't,
Mm-hmm. Oh boy. Yes. I know for me, for my children, one thing that sticks out is my youngest daughter.
Okay.
She was about 4 or 5. Her sister ate something of hers, like some candy or something, that they had these little baskets, and she ate one of her pieces of candy. And so I'm in my room, and then I hear her screaming. She's screaming. And I get up and I'm like, what the heck? And I go into their room, and first I'm calling. I'm like, girl, stop all that noise. And she's screaming, she gotta go. She gotta go. She gotta
Okay,
go.
what age are they?
They're 6 years apart. So one was like 4 or 5. And then the other one, you know, like I said, she was about 10 or so. So it was like 9 or 10. And she was just fussing. So I go in there. She's popped the safety latch on the window and opened the window and is throwing her sister's stuff out in the backyard.
Ooh-wee. Ooh-wee.
She throwing her clothes out the backyard. So I go in there and I'm like, what are you doing? What is going, girl, if you don't stop doing that. And then she stops, and then she looks at me, and then she just starts crying. And then she tells me she ate whatever candy this is she was talking about. And I'm like, girl, you know, so I told my, you know, daughter, don't eat your sister's things. That's not nice, you know. And then I tell my other daughter, well, you know, I have some more. I had some more of that candy because I was then and still am a bulk shopper. So when I buy stuff, trust, I got 10 more stashed somewhere else
you do have
in
to
the
do
closet.
That.
So they can't eat it all. But, you know, I would give them these little, it was summertime, and I would give them these little like goodie bags, you know. And she was mad. And she was mad. She said, well, she has to go. And I said, go, she got to go. Well, she can't go nowhere. You don't need to put nobody out. Oh no, she could go to the hospital or the fire station because they said I seen in school that you could you can take the kids to the fire station and leave them. Let's take her, mommy.
Okay.
So I went in my room. I had a conversation with both of them about taking each other things and touching each other things. And then I went in my room and I got the treat that her sister had to give to her. And then I went in there and I told her, and I took a trash bag. And I had her go outside to pick up all the clothes she threw out the window, and then she could get her treat. So she went out there crying the whole time.
Of course.
Picking up the clothes and talking about how she wanted a new sister. And we had a little Shih Tzu. So the dog was out there picking up clothes too, dragging it across the yard. So she had to run and chase the dog to get the clothes. But when she got them all picked up and came back in and shut the window and relocked the safety bar, I gave her other treat. And then she no longer wanted to
drop her sister.
Yeah, she no longer wanted to, be her roommate. And she wanted a new roommate. So I told her, nope, you can't be my roommate. Your dad's my roommate. So she said she was going to be the dog's roommate and decided to go sleep in the living room. That lasted for a whole about 4 or 5 hours because she got sick of the dog licking on her and touching on her because she had made a pallet right next to the dog's bed on the floor, and she was going to be the dog's roommate because she could no longer be her sister's roommate because she kept touching her stuff. But with that being said, please tell us about How do you feel? What they didn't tell you about children, about raising them, about having them.
Mm-hmm.
Whew. Because Lord, I feel the pain now in my back, my back. And, you know, tell us some of the things that you would have did different in our situations if they had came arise for you. And how do you feel about the youth of today and people of today? I remember I knew everybody on my block, you know, and you said the same for
I knew
you.
everybody.
But nowadays, I barely know my neighbors and hardly know their children. So keep us locked. Leave a comment,
Like,
subscribe.
share.
Yeah, go ahead and share. Go ahead and share. Thanks for watching.
Bye, grown folks.
Bye.